Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge, they don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like, wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as your law intellect. Thank you guys so much. You know, I'm like 10 minutes early. You know how I do over here. So, you guys, I want to give you a chance to come in because this may be a two-parter. This case, I have been looking at this case. I received it last Friday, I think it was. So you guys know that I covered, my last video was about the whole Tasha K, Kevin Hart lawsuit. Also, their responses. So Kevin Hart's assistant, Maisha Shakes, was being sued as well for defamation, breach of an NDA, yada, yada, yada. And so the last two videos have been about Kevin Hart. That night, I got a DM. And the DM was from Mr. J.T. Jackson. I said, wait, what? So for those of you guys that do not know, Mr. J.T. Jackson is the former friend of Kevin Hart. They had been friends for over 15 years. And J.T. Jackson is actually a vet. Like, he went to the military and served our country, got out. He has a career of his own. So he was an actor, did a lot of commercials. I think they said he did like over 100 commercials. He had a legitimate career in Hollywood in his own right. Well, he became friends with Kevin. They were friends for years. And he never was on Kevin's payroll. Like, he was not like some of the other ones that you see that everybody works for Kevin, but he still maintained a friendship. That's not to say Kevin didn't look out for him in any way, because I'm sure as a friend, he probably did. But that friendship is finito, gone. And the way it happened is a sad moment. And I wanted to discuss it because JT has filed a federal lawsuit. And I think there's going to be, talking to him, there may be another lawsuit that will be filed. But this one actually pertains directly to the miscarriage of justice that has occurred in his case. Like I said, it's a whole lot. When I looked at his lawsuit, it was probably like 45 pages. He did write it out because he was the one that knew it. He had some assistance. He did it pro se. But right now, as of last week, he has an attorney who does civil rights who came in on the case. And so I think the best way for me to go over this where it's not overwhelming is for us to do how I do. I'm gonna get to the lawsuit, like towards certain parts, but in the beginning, I am going to give you guys the very specifics of the facts of this case. Because I'm gonna have to refresh your recollection, because I wasn't following it like that either. Now, we all know that the alleged extortion charges were dropped against JT. What was interesting is it was kind of quiet. Now, when the extortion happened, it was headlines. Kevin Hart extorted over SEX tape. You know, it was everywhere. But then when it came down to his exoneration, nobody wanted to really talk about that. So we over here at PAMU, we are about to break it down. So as you come in, Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe over here if you have not done so already. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to be a bit surprised, as I was when I was reading it. Like I said, it might have to go into two parts, because then I found out some more stuff today on a whole nother case. It's just been a whole lot dealing with it. So, oh yeah, thank you, Aaliyah. Good to see you, Sierra K. I'm trying to, I said I was gonna start at 8 o'clock, so I'm trying not to, for all the people that came over here and thought it was gonna start at 8 o'clock. Hey, Wiley, good to see you. Thank you so much, Natty and Sunflower and Sharon and Andree. So yeah, you guys are gonna definitely be shocked at some of this. So I am going to break it down from the beginning, how all of this stuff happened. I have emails, I have police arrest records, I have comments and texts. I have a lot of things that we are going to have to incorporate to this so that we can all understand what is going on. So how did all of this start? All I remember is one day, and I don't know where you guys were when you found out about this whole alleged sex tape situation, but I saw this. This is the picture that I saw of Kevin Hart, and I was like, my. So what is this? So how did all this even start? Okay, let's get into it before we get into the documents and everything, because there, like I said, it's a whole lot of them. So on August 16th through the 21st of 2017, this is going to have to be story time, because I need you guys to be up to date. And if anybody reports on this, I want to make sure that it's clear and concise, because if you pull the actual lawsuit, which I know a lot of people do, you need to read that a few times to really understand it. So on August 16th through the 21st, 2017, comedian, I say allegedly because he ain't funny to me, but that's just my opinion. It's subjective. Kevin Hart invited a few of his friends to a trip to Vegas. One of those friends was Mr. J.T. Jackson. While in Vegas, Hart, who was a married man, made the decision to sleep with a woman who, as Tasha K said in her response to that TRO, was a woman that was not his pregnant wife. After returning from this trip, someone who alleged they taped this intimate encounter, we'll call it, reached out to a few gossip sites and was trying to sell the tape. So let's pull up that email of these are the emails of them allegedly trying to sell this tape. It says, and it's a lot of emails or whatever. These are all attached to this federal lawsuit that was filed. Hardcore evidence of Kevin cheating on his pregnant wife last weekend in Las Vegas. Career damaging evidence. He will have to lay low for a very long time. May have to cancel tour dates as well when the world sees this. This is bad. I have already reached out to TMZ and Gossip. This information is going to be going to the highest bidder. Then here's another one. This is on August 25th. Okay, I will send you another pic, but it's from a video I have. I will take a still shot from the video and blur everyone in it out but him. In this video pic I'm sending you, he is letting a white female rub him. This is a different female that he let suck his peen in that hotel room that same weekend. I do not have that footage, but I do have that video of the white girl in her room with other females present rubbing Kevin inappropriately. I'm blurring all of that out and just showing you Kevin. You will be able to tell immediately that he's doing something he's not supposed to do in the pic. I'm going to send you the next with Kevin in it. Give me 1 second while I do it. Now, all of these are going to, I believe it was Media Takeout at first. So then this anonymous person says, well, the tips from Media Takeout says, can I see an image with this face, a screenshot or something? So then they respond, Whether you believe me or not, I wouldn't sell something to you and go to somebody else. I am the only one with this evidence. So I know it won't get leaked to no one else outside of myself. MTO, which is your company, are the only ones as of now that I have sent anything to. Like I said, what I sent you is nothing compared to what I have. I have a SEX tape with him having SEX with my girl you see in the pic. That tape is stamped at 8 minutes, 19. No, it says August 19, 2017, last weekend. Sorry. His wife was in Baltimore for her birthday while Kevin was cheating in LA. I'm sorry, Las Vegas. Sorry. I'm tired of Kevin making it seem like he loves his wife on social media. He needs to be exposed for what he is. He's full of ish. Kevin definitely cannot laugh this one off. Caught red-handed. You see him naked at the end, and then when the light turns on, you see him as clear as day. There is audio as well on some clips. You hear him call Jay-Z on one clip after he was done having SEX, and you definitely hear him and my girl having SEX and see Kevin off the mirror having SEX. Like I said, this info will not be cheap, especially with his wife and ex-wife beefing with each other because of his current wife thinking she's not being cheated on. This story ties in all of the speculation and will send people in a frenzy. Before you ask me how much I would like for this evidence, ask yourself, how much would a gossip site pay for this information? He will have to cancel tour dates, guaranteed. If the money is right, I'll send you all files and you all edit it the way you want to. No need for me to have copies of it anymore. Once you all put it out, damage will be done by then. So here's another one. Evidence of Kevin Hart cheating. Then they attacked some pictures that they had watermarked and blurred them out. I assure you that Kevin is not just him being at the club, but also in this hotel room at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. What I'm sending you is nothing compared to what I have in my possession. Just sending you a little taste of what would be revealed. And one of the pictures where Kevin is on the couch with his side piece, you can see his ring on his finger. Honestly, you should leak this out to see if he will deny this. If so, then pay me for the ultimate reveal. Also, he is a watch guy. Look at his watch as well. Anyway, if you are interested, let me know. But do know that what I have will not come cheap at all. So then they change like accounts or something. And so they say, I do apologize for the delay. I've been locked out of other accounts, hence why I'm contacting you via this email account. In response to your email in regards to making me an offer, how much are you willing to pay? I have video footage of Kevin engaging in intercourse with a woman other than his wife, and it's clearly Kevin. I have a few other gossip sites who are also interested. They want to purchase whatever I have to Kevin as well. I'm just waiting on the highest bidder. Surely this information will take any news and gossip site to an A1 level. I am declining any form of communication via phone. I only discuss and handle all my business via email. You may email me any information or concerns as well as questions you may have. So this is from, okay, so this is a whole nother person. I think this is a guy that actually sells these type of videos, right? So this is another email from someone else. So whoever this anonymous person was, they said they were trying to give out the video to the highest bidder. So this is a guy, I guess, that puts out these types of tapes, Kevin somebody. So listen, so this is him talking to the Kevin guy is talking to this anonymous person in the email. Listen, while I can totally appreciate your security and discretion, I have to tell you that my buyers are very wary of doing business with anyone I can't speak with or meet with personally. For one, there are zero guarantees that you wouldn't have copies if we were to buy exclusively. Second, they will really need to know that it is indeed Kevin 100%. I know you fully appreciate where they are coming from on this. Again, I can't disclose to you the actual buyer of this tape as they want full confidentiality as well. But I told you some of the companies I represent. I also have someone who has beef with Kevin and he feels it can be good leverage for him should he be able to obtain it. I just need to know I'm dealing with someone credible. While I can appreciate you sending this securely, I will need to speak to you at some point regarding bank wires and how we be able to procure the tape. They would want the master tape and not some file. So then the person comes back and says, in total, I have 14 video clips. Out of these 14 clips, some have audio, some do not. The footage I have in my possession is more of a reveal than a tape. You don't see any parts nor the actual act up close and personal. It is blatantly there in your face, but not in a porn type of a way. Among these 14 clips are astonishing amounts of juicy details and visuals. I can assure you this is the real deal. In regards to having undeniable exposure as well as adulterating footage of Kevin in raw form, as per your request, here is a quick snippet sample clip of the quality of the footage I have in my possession. Again, this is more of Kevin being exposed as a cheater, i.e., pictures, videos with multiple women rather than the tape. P.S. Due to my lifestyle, I am always surrounded by friends, roommates, as well as coworkers. It is virtually impossible to take the allocated time we would need to discuss this over the phone. Again, this is the only form of communication I can utilize. Hopefully, we can move forward. So this is again to from the Kevin person that sells these tapes allegedly, and then to the anonymous person. Just checking in with you since I didn't hear back from you from my last email. I can offer you $10,000 for the video as of right now. I think we should meet if you are in town. I think the more information you know about how these tapes work, the better. There is only so much I can or will say via email. I know you'll be very happy you met me afterwards. August 29th. Yes, I did look you up, which is why I am taken aback by your offer. Initially, you said you're willing to pay more than any other gossip site. With that said, I am declining your offer for $10,000. I know you know that I know this is worth substantially more than what you are offering. Number one, I don't live in LA, so understandably, it's not worth my time. If you are willing to offer more, I will be in LA next week. We can meet then. Otherwise, I will have to move on. I also mentioned previously it will cost you more for the master copy. So then, August 30th at 1:41 a.m., there's another email from the Kevin person to this anonymous person that has this tape. What number is it that you're looking for? No blog is going to buy this. I sold news story for years and used to work a lot with TMZ. Like I said, if you have a realistic number in mind, I can get where you need to be. But it's not too much higher than what I threw out there. I'm just telling you that the more you talk to blogs and sites, the worse off you are. You will be. If someone prints that you are trying to sell this, it will flag his people and they will shut this down quick. I want to buy, I want to put money in your hands, but would really like to speak with you so you can understand the game. Basically, you trying to sell this stuff and you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know how to sell this stuff right to blogs. She said, I am pretty sure someone at one of the places you hit up will tell his people. Think about it. If they can do a favor for Hart to keep him close to them, don't you think they're going to try to throw you under the bus? This happens a lot. Be careful. If I can go to 15 to 20K, can we have a deal? I'm still waiting to hear back on it. If you can get more than 35K, I think I need to see everything you have in order to have them come up. Where are you located? You aren't coming till later in the week. Maybe I can fly there. I really want to get this done ASAP. So then the person says, I'll be in LA Saturday afternoon. I will not be available to meet you until Monday afternoon. I have engagements to attend. I will be in LA until Tuesday night. We can meet Monday afternoon or an allocated time of your choice on Tuesday. I prefer to meet during the day in a very wide open space where people abound. I am hoping you can solidify much more than 35,000 so we can move forward. I want to be done with all of this by next week, Thursday, September 7th, as I will be going abroad for a few weeks, September 8th. Before I can give you any further information, I'm still waiting on a contract that will ensure I remain anonymous. So they try and do this business wise. They want a contract and everything. So now this is from the Kevin guy again, talking to the anonymous person. My email should serve that I will 100% not divulge who you are to anyone. This email is proof and is legally binding. I'm still waiting to hear back from my people. At least now I know we have till Saturday to get you a number. I'd really love to meet you and get this done Sunday or Monday. My lawyer will draft up an assignment of rights contract, which pending we have the money we want. You will transfer all copyrights to my company, K Bizzle Inc., as the broker. I will let you know once I hear back. If you could call me from a block number, I would really like the opportunity to speak with you. It would be good for you to hear my voice, as I know you will feel much more comfortable with me. Regards, KB. All good. I speak from the heart. I do good business with everyone as long as they're reasonable and understand this isn't a game for the weak of heart. Lots of folk get in big trouble doing this type of thing without a lawyer. The good thing is I have them up to 35K as of now, and I'm calling someone else tomorrow who can beat this price. Unlike a lawyer who takes 33 and a third. What's wrong with that? That's what I get. Not now y'all doing too much. It will work out. This is August 29, 2017. And this is from the anonymous person. Okay, please do your best to get this deal done as soon as possible. I want to be done with this. Yes, I am more than willing to sell my phone. I didn't consider this being a possible way of releasing the master copy. I agree. You are the only person I am corresponding with at this point. Just to be honest, I did contact a couple of blog sites earlier, but I ended up getting cold feet. I thought about what you said about not being able to trust them as they may be in cahoots with Hart. Honestly, I am kind of relieved you're one of my own. I feel more comfortable doing business with you. I know the African American gossip sites will be in Hart's best interest. This never occurred to me until you mentioned the possibilities of sites tip, tipping Kevin off. We will talk soon. Hopefully, we can come to a mutual agreement swiftly. August 29th of 2017. I want $60,000. As I mentioned, I am willing to give you the master copy. Although I am oblivious as to how I would go about doing that, as I took pictures and recorded the footage on my phone. The footage is one ongoing video, and I spliced it in smaller clips. I would need your help in that department. If you choose to move forward, this is my criteria I would need in writing. Our phone conversation will not be recorded, nor will my identity be compromised if and when we meet. This is from Kevin again. You know, when I say K, I'm gonna say KB because that's the name of the person I guess is trying to get this video. And then the anonymous person is who he's sending it to. Listen, I want to get this deal done. I'm going to go back to my prospective buyer and let them what you are looking for and tell them what you are looking for. I'm sure we can come to the table with a reasonable offer. I will most likely be purchasing your phone if the master is the video on your phone. It's the only way to know that I have the original. However, if we do this deal, I would need to make sure you don't have copies on your iCloud, and you would also agree to pay me my percentage, of course. I'm going to work extra hard for you on this if you promise me that you won't speak to anyone else regarding this tape. No blog sites. One of my buyers is stressing this big time to me. August 30th. This is 2KB. I prefer and want legal documentation. This would pacify any trepidations I may have in terms of speaking with you via phone, as well as meeting with you in person. I desire to make this transaction with full peace of mind that my identity will be protected. Emails are not suffice for me. I need in writing our phone conversations will not be recorded, nor will you cover any video footage of me. Those are the emails. Okay. You guys are the social media jurors. So you have to keep Exhibit A in mind that these are the alleged emails of which you will see It's some random guy, nobody or female, guy, female, we don't know who it is behind this email address. They're contacting blogs. They contacted media takeout first, and they've contacted other blogs. They're just trying to sell it. They said they recorded this and they want the money. That's it. That was their whole point. So now, after this happened, if you see, like I said in the emails in question, they're just trying to sell the video. And the dates are between August 25th and August 30th. That's why I read all of them. So, according to the investigative report, this guy KB must have been on to something, because media takeout allegedly, according to this report, is friends. The owner, I guess, is friends with Kevin Hart. So he reached out to Kevin Hart and was like, yo, someone's trying to sell me a tape of you. And so what do you want me to do? Because you my homeboy. And so the team got together. So I guess Kevin Hart's team got together. This is according to the investigative report. And they advised me to take out. They was like, nah, buddy, we don't want this tape to get out, because Kevin knew what had happened during that time while he was in Vegas. So he was like, dang, I don't want this to get out. So he was asking media takeout to continue negotiations with this anonymous person, so perhaps they can buy the tape. But as you guys see, when you go through the emails, KB, it seemed like he stopped talking to all of the other people and started talking to this guy KB, or Kevin B, whatever his name is, who brokers these tapes. Like, this is what he does. And you can tell because he's getting lawyers and all of that. So he stopped negotiating with them. So at the beginning of September, I guess Kevin Hart's people contacted the authorities and was like, here go these emails we got. And so the authorities was looking at like, oh, okay. And as you know, around September 16th of 2000, well, I think it was on September 16th of 2017, the video was released to the public. I didn't watch the video. I don't know if any of y'all watched the video. I am grateful that I did not accidentally see this video, because you know how Twitter is. They have no chill. There have been so many times that I have seen things that I was just not old enough to see over there on Twitter. I did not see this video. So some of y'all may have seen it, but the video was released. And after the video was released, some of you guys may remember that Kevin Hart did his apology video. You know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, I got a target on my back. I embarrassed my wife. I embarrassed my kids. I've talked to them about it, and blah, blah, blah. So let's look at that video right quick.
I feel like I have a target on my back, and because of that, I should make smart decisions. And recently, I didn't. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am or claim to be in any way, shape, or form. And I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. And in doing that, I know that I'm going to hurt the people closest to me, who I've talked to and apologized to, being my wife and my kids. And I just, you know, it's a shitty moment. It's a shitty moment when you know you're wrong, and there's no excuses for your wrong behavior. At the end of the day, man, I just simply got to do better. But I'm not going to also allow a person to have financial gain off of my mistakes. And in this particular situation, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather fess up to my mistakes.
Well, he said at this time he would rather, you know, fess up to his mistakes, right? But really what had happened was, if you guys watch the documentary series that Kevin Hart has, see, I'm helping you out, Kev. Some people might go watch it or whatever. So in episode 3, when he did that documentary, Don't F This Up, he talked about this situation. And what happened, according to his wife, is she said she received a link at like 10 in the morning, and somebody sent her a link of the actual tape. And she sent it to him while he was on the road with his homeboy. And yeah. And so he was on his way to like South Carolina, North Carolina, or something to do something. And then that's when his wife called him like, when she got the tape. So he's alleging here, like, I'm not going to let nobody make any financial gain. Now, he didn't use the word extortion. He didn't say anybody contacted him directly. He just said, hey, I'm not going to let anybody make any type of money off of this, which would coincide with these emails. Now, subsequently to that, y'all remember, this is the young lady that was in the video. Montia Sabaj, I think of her name, or Savage. On September 20th of 2017, she did a press conference, with our girl Lisa Bloom. That is Gloria Allright's daughter. They do all of the women that were wrongfully done out here. They are the pro-women law firm. And she said she was a victim. She didn't know anything about this video. She didn't know who put this video out. She didn't know anything. So this law firm took over because they were going to represent her on this case. So that was on September 20th. So I asked JT, I was like, well, wait a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself because you got to keep the timeline here. So according to the police reports that I've seen, they start investigating this. And I say this loosely, and you'll see as we proceed into this video. They started to investigate ultimately so they can get warrants. So they wanted to get a warrant for the Instagrams. They wanted to get warrants for JT Jackson's home. Now, I was asking him, I'm like, well, what was the warrant for? Like, what was the basis for the warrant? We still don't know. Okay. Because I was definitely asking about what was going to be their basis for a warrant. But anyway, they did get a warrant to go into, this is JT right here. So they did get a warrant in order to come into his house. And I'm going to let you hear, because he sent a voice memo, I think, on that. So I'm going to let him tell you what happened when they came to his house. This is JT Jackson right here in his own voice.
Hey, my apologies for the delay. So basically, the search warrant that was authored on my home on January 23rd, 2018 by defendant Letourneau, that has nothing to do with that bail paperwork that I sent you. Okay. Again, they didn't arrest me at all on January 23rd, 2018. They kicked in the door, destroyed the door. Okay. They came in with their little guns, and there's a whole bunch of people, right? And they put the cuffs on me and my wife, embarrassed us. And they searched the house. Mind you, we have no idea what they're talking about, what's happening, why they're there. They didn't say anything. And then they just said, hey, well, we're here because you, talking about me, tried to extort Kevin Hart. And at that point, I just knew some bullshit was happening, and I said, oh, really? And they was like, yep, yep, an email came from your IP address, and that's why we're here. And I said, well, let me see well, can I see this email that you all are saying that I sent? No, we can't do that because it's part of our investigation. I said, well, maybe it would help if you all just show me what, what brought you to my home. I would like to see that. They never showed it. Anyway, long story short, they took all of my my electronics, took our phones, left us with nothing. All right. Didn't arrest me, didn't do anything. So this is January 23rd, 2018. And then 3 months later, April 30th, 2018, they called me and said, hey, you can come pick up your items, which they were lying to me. They just wanted me to get down there so they can arrest me. So that's what happened. So they arrested me and never mentioned anything about any extortion or in regards to back when Kevin came out in September of 2017. they specifically said you, again talking about me, sent Kevin Hart another email, which we don't even know what the first email was, by the way, but they said you sent them another email on April 27, 2018. And that's why we're arresting you. And mind you, they never brought this email up at all in any of the legal proceedings. They never even entered this email in any of the discovery. But I was arrested for it, thrown in jail for like 5 days and all that other horrible stuff.
Okay. So that is what happened when they came in there and they bust this door down. He's asking, well, where's this email? What are you even talking about? And they said, oh, it came from your IP address, but they never was able. When I say that, they would be the law enforcement were never able to prove what they were saying. So I asked JT, I'm like, so, because I'm an inquisitive person. I wanted to know, so after this video came out, were you and Kevin still cool? Was y'all still kicking it? He said yes. He said that the whole group was talking about it, and Kevin was just under the impression, he kept telling him it was the chick. They believed that it was the girl that was in the video that was responsible for this. So they still hung out. He was at their house for Thanksgiving. Mind you, all this stuff was September. JT was at the house for Thanksgiving. He said a week before they bust his door down, they all went on a guys trip. They went to like Cancun or something. So he was talking to Kevin this whole time. I said, well, did you guys talk about this whole situation? He was like, no, they just said that they were investigating and that they thought it was the girl. And that's the reason why it happened. I was like, what? So they go kick his door down, take all his stuff or whatever. And then he's calling to get his stuff back because they didn't arrest him. You heard him say they kicked this door down January 23rd of 2018. They did not arrest this man. So then he's calling and he's like, can I get my stuff back? Like, you took my electronics, you taking all this stuff, and he didn't hear nothing for 3 months. They got all his stuff. So he's asking. So he said one day they call him and they're like, yeah, hey, homie, why don't you come on down here and get your stuff? So he said he went with one of his homeboys, and he was like, his homeboy was telling him, this sounds like a setup. You might not want to come down here. So he was like, nah, man, they just, they did their little investigation. I'm just coming to get my stuff. They got my computers and everything. So he goes down there, and when he goes down there, he goes inside, and apparently his homeboy was absolutely correct. So let me tell you, this is in his own words again of what happened when he went down there. This was April 30th of 2018. So this is 6 months after the initial release of this tape with Kevin. This is too much. That's why I was telling y'all. I was like, we got to break this thing down.
Hey, yeah, so basically...
Wait.
When I was being interrogated on April 30th, 2018, the Robin Letourneau, which is, the defendant, she said, hey, well,
So Letourneau is the DA's investigator. So it's like their police officer, but they work specifically for the DA. So if you hear Letourneau, that's a lady, and that's the DA investigator. So when I say investigator, that's who I will be referring to.
Arrest you for sending this email. I'm like, whatever, do what you got to do. And she got mad and she said, you know what, your bail was at 35,000 or 30,000, one of them numbers. She said, now I'm going to have them raise it to $100,000. She said, I'm going to request that. So, that's what happened. So everything happened on that day. I knew they were going to raise it, and all that. So I was placed in jail. I didn't get out until May 5th, 2018. I was booked, did the whole thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So he goes down there to go get his stuff. And he thinking he just going to get his stuff. And they was like, nope, they did interrogation. So they're saying he sent these emails. So then I guess because he wasn't saying what they wanted him to say, they were like, oh, well, it's a $30,000 bill for this, but we're going to try to up it. And they said they were going to up it based on some alleged, they added a new email. So what they were alleging is that a new email was sent in April 27th of 2018, literally like what, 6 months after, 7 months after the tape was released. Like, why are you trying to extort somebody for something that's already released? So that made like absolutely no sense. But here is the request for the increase of bail. So it has, these are the facts, is why he was arrested. So on September 16, 2017, at approximately 1844 hours, I received information regarding an extortion made against the victim, Kevin, via email and text messages. Email and text messages. I was informed that Hart was at his house in Los Angeles County when he received the extortion threats. Based upon the totality of the evidence recovered, I identified the suspect in this case to be Jonathan Todd Jackson, and herein references Jackson. All of the evidence obtained throughout this investigation revealed Jackson was responsible for illicitly filming a video of Hart in his Las Vegas hotel room and engaged in an extortion plot to ruin his career. Jackson violated California Penal Code Section 518, extortion, 519, fear used to extort, threats inducing, and 523A, sending a threatening letter with the intent to extort. And then they say, as of April 27, 2018, he received another demand email to deposit 20 Bitcoin into an account before May 1st, 2018, or else the video will be released along with new information that will destroy his career and family life. I believe Jackson was behind the email. You hear, I believe, with no other evidence, that he was behind the email. I feel Jackson will continue his criminal activity if he's allowed to access any digital devices. So they were trying to make his bond be from 30,000 to 100,000. So to add insult to injury, they tried to increase the bond from 30,000 to 100,000, which was denied. So then, y'all know after this, what ended up happening was that's when we started seeing all the headlines from TMZ that JT Jackson, the best friend, was trying to extort his friend and because he had been arrested, tried to extort Kevin Hart. And I think Charlemagne gave him the donkey of the day. I mean, it was all over the place that this man was his best friend and he allegedly was trying to extort him. And you guys see the evidence that they had. And the arrest report is 2 counts of extortion. Let me see if I had the first one. It was 2 counts of extortion of what his actual complaint was. So his original complaint was on or between August 25th, 2017 and August 30th, 2017. So those are the emails that I read, you guys, right? Those are the emails that they're talking about, that this is the extortion. In the county of Los Angeles, the crime of extortion by threatening letter in violation of Penal Code 523A, a felony was committed by Jonathan Todd Jackson, who did with the intent to extort property and other consideration from another, send and deliver letter and writing, expressly implying, and it's hard to read this, and to imply duress and I think threats or something. And then they have count 2 on or between August 25th of 2017 and August 30th of 2017, the crime of attempted extortion. So they were referring specifically, you guys know if you paid attention to the dates, to those emails I read you guys early on. So this is what his extortion was based on initially. Oh, it gets better. You guys hold your horses here. I had to lay the groundwork. After this happened, Kevin Hart, like I said, he did this documentary, Don't F This Up, and it was just very interesting. It was very interesting if you guys watched that in episode 3, because I noticed that in that interview, because I had to rewatch it today, I noticed that when he was doing that documentary, he was saying, I don't really believe, I still don't want to believe it. It still has to go through the process. He was like, I was just so hurt when I found out it was my friend, but I still don't want to believe it. A part of me don't want to believe it. But then his homeboys are on there like, man, I mean, Kevin can't trust nobody again. We ain't having nobody else in our circle. They were talking mad junk. They were like, one of the guys was like, the story goes along the lines of JT take Kevin, went into his house and edited the video, and then sent Kevin an email that said if you don't pay something like $10 million, then he will release the video. That's what they put in the actual documentary. Y'all go see it. Now you don't see none of that in these emails that's supposed to be the extortion. But that's what his homeboy said. I don't know where he got it from, but that's what he said on that documentary. So I'll be curious to know where they got that $10 million from. But apparently, JT's lawyer wanted to know the same thing. So he got a lawyer. Sound like his first lawyer may have been a lot, because as you guys see, that's why I broke it down like this. It is a whole lot of information. So he got a second lawyer, and this lawyer was like, something ain't smelling right. Okay. So when he said something ain't smelling right, he asked, well, can I get the emails that you guys are talking about? Can I get this information from this IP address that links my client? Can I get that? Nothing. They ain't turned over not a lick of evidence that they were talking about. So then on August 8th of 2019, after his lawyers asking like, okay, where's your evidence? The prosecutor changes to a new prosecutor. So now the first prosecutor that brought this, they out of here, and it's a new one. It's prosecutor 2. That's what we'll call it, prosecutor 2. And they do a second amended felony complaint. And now they changed the dates to on or between August 25th of 2017 to April 30th of 2018. So now they've extended it so they can add this alleged email they were saying that was sent out in April. So they still have the extortion. They have the attempted extortion, but again, they changed the date. And then they have unauthorized use of personal identifying information. So they done added identity theft, and they added attempting, concealing, selling, and withholding of stolen property exceeding $950. They just added some stuff. I was asking them, I'm like, so where's the evidence for this stuff? I don't know. They just added some stuff. But basically they had, with the violation of, they said, a felony who did willfully obtain personal identifying information of Montia Savage and use that information for an unlawful purpose, including invasion of privacy without the consent of Montia Savage. Then they got, for this one, the attempting, concealing, selling, and withholding of stolen property exceeding $950 in value. A felony was committed by Jonathan Todd Jackson, who did unlawfully attempt to conceal, sell, and withhold property exceeding $950 in value from the owner, specifically recorded images and audio of Kevin Hart knowing the property to be stolen and obtained unlawfully. They just added 2 more charges. That's what they did. They added a couple of more charges on there, and then it gets worse. See, this is why can't nobody report, because you got to like thoroughly break this down in order to like report on it properly. So then they learn the threatening message Kevin got. Y'all ready for this bombshell? This was the real threatening letter that they were talking about. Bam. In the comment section under Kevin Hart's video, I believe it was. Why I say it was under the video, because it had to be after the video was recorded, or Kevin did his video apologizing and all of that, because it has Shay Blessed. It has, she's saying at the end of the day, it's nobody's business. If I were you, this would be my first and last statement ever on the situation. Keep this private and between you and your wife. I will be praying for you and your beautiful family. So somebody named Mr. Jude said, give me 5 million or I'm releasing the video. No need to make this go public. You had your chance. That is the extortion. And it was in the comment section. So what this investigator was alleging at first was that it was sent, this was somehow sent directly to Kevin Hart in a DM, but it was literally in the comment section. I'm not, girl, and Jeree, I was reading it like, wait, what? Had my nerves bad. Let me tell you why my nerves is bad, because you guys know I had someone who created a whole page with my face on it and everything and was arguing, going around acting like they were me, all in the YouTube streets. So you're telling me that somebody can comment, you don't really know what's up with it, don't know what's going on, and that can be the cause of an extortion plot? Oh, but it gets better. Okay, it gets better. So, of course, you have a bunch of different hearings. Now that he has these 4 or 5 charges, I think it was 4 charges, 5 charges, whatever the amount. Too many. It was ridiculous. He started having hearings. So his lawyer was like, his lawyer was about that business. It was like, nah. So when the lawyer was actually questioning this investigator about it, so this is the first time. All this time they were not given. By the time that first, remember, the first warrant that I showed you guys, the first arrest warrant, it only showed the dates for the emails. So we all know it had to do with the emails. But then they amended it because they wanted to stretch it out, because this comment was really sent on September 16th when Kevin did his video. So it wasn't even sent at the same time as those emails. But that's what you guys were arresting him for. So then a hearing takes place, and JT's attorney checked him on this comment. And so the officer basically says, let me see if I got the transcript, because the officer basically was saying, I really don't know when this comment was released. How you arresting somebody and you don't even know when somebody even made the comment? I was just like, so he says, so Mr. Glucksman is JT's defense attorney. He said, let me go back to the Instagram defense A that I marked. What date was this allegedly made? Were these comments made? Answer, it would have been September 16, 2017. How do you know that? That's what I was told. What time was the comment made? I believe it was told somewhere in the area of 441. So again, based on this lady's own testimony, this comment was way after the dates from the emails. Dang near a month. So then Mr. Glucksman said, let me go back to the Instagram defense A that I marked. Okay, that's the same thing. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. That's the same thing. I must have got really excited because I didn't put that on here twice. So I was just like, hey, what? So then, question. This is another part. Okay, can you show us in what email did you review a negotiation for $5 million in exchange for keeping the video of Hart from going public? Answer, there wasn't an email. There was an Instagram post that had occurred at the same time the rest of these emails were taking place. So first you said it was happening at the same time. Now we look at the post though, and you've acknowledged that it did not happen at the same time. It happened on the same day that the video was released, aka it was probably a troll, pretty much. So then, let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see. So this is the real kicker. I wanted to know. So JT, I said, well, what is connecting you to this email? Like, did they get an IP address? Did they give you any documents? How do they even know that you're supposed to be this person who wrote this comment right here? How they know that you Mr. Jude? How do they know who Young Swoop is, who's responding and replying and all of this stuff? How do they know this? He said, Pam, my lawyer actually asked that question. I said, well, did he now? Yes, he did. And let me tell you what had happened when he asked that question. He said, so that he asked the question about connecting him, and the answer from this investigator was, so the question was basically, did you have any evidence against JT that he was these people? The answer was, I did not. But I didn't make the determination to file the case. I just presented that evidence I had. So I couldn't connect the evidence, but I gave it to the prosecutor, and they the one decided to go ahead and prosecute. So that's not on me. So then the question, did you present? And the answer at the time. Question, did you present that evidence to the district attorney that you didn't have any evidence connecting Mr. Jackson with Mr. Jude or Young Swoop? Answer, I don't understand the question. Question, you just stated, because I know his attorney was pissed, because that's how I would have been at this time. I'd have been like this. You just stated that at the time you signed the complaint in May of 2018, you didn't have any evidence tying Mr. Jackson to Mr. Jude or Young Swoop. Then the prosecutor objected. That's who Mr. Objection, cause for legal conclusion. The court overruled it. She answered the question. He's using it as the foundation for the next question. So then they go on. Question by Mr. Glucksman. That's the defense attorney. Did you tell that to the DA that you didn't have any evidence tying Mr. Jackson to Mr. Jude or Young Swoop? I don't believe I had that conversation about it. So then on the stand, he admits he had nothing to tie this man to this whole crime. Can y'all believe it? I would have been so mad. I'd have been so dramatic. I am the most dramatic trial attorney. I would have been like, this is just a miscarriage of justice. I cannot believe you were DA. They would have been, appellate, counsel, shut up, counsel. That's how the judge would have been. If you don't shut up, you better get out of my courtroom. You're going to find you in contempt. That's why I leave my credit card with somebody very trustworthy every time I go to court for something I'm very passionate about, because there is a high probability they're going to piss me off and I might have to go to jail. But I would have been mad. So you're telling me this man has spent this time in jail? First of all, let's go back to January. His door was busted in, his guns pulled out, his wife was all this in front of his wife. This is a man who has served our country. And this is how this justice system wants to repay him. Then you sit up there and you arrest him based on emails that you can't even connect to him, haven't shown one piece of evidence that he actually sent. Then we find out the whole $5 million plot is from a comment from somebody that you're just admitting you couldn't even connect to my client. I can't believe this. I would have just been like, what? Baby, I got a credit card specifically for times like this. Specifically. Because somebody might have to get me out, because I can't stand there more than an hour, because I'll be in there crying. But I'm just saying. But I do them for that first hour for this. Can you believe that? I said, this is despicable. So then, they admitted, I'm going to go to his complaint, because he did file a complaint. I'm just like, had to tell the story. In his complaint, one of the things that JT Jackson has alleged, this was paragraph, let me see. He says, let me see here. It's paragraph 32, I think, of the complaint. So he says, told y'all this complaint is 43 pages. He had a lot. Y'all see why he had a lot to say? Why I had to like stress this? So in paragraph 32 of JT's complaint, which has been filed, defendant Letourneau additionally testified under oath on September 23rd, 2009 at the Franks hearing, stating there wasn't an email. This contradicts the timeline, as the $5 million Instagram threat pivotal to this case happened on September 16, 2017, 14 days after Letourneau's claim date of Hart's extortion review. This discrepancy challenges the credibility of the investigative summary. And then she admits too that the only basis for this whole extortion thing was this $5 million comment. That was the sole basis of saying it was an extortion, was this comment that you have admitted you cannot connect JT Jackson to. Okay. So, but it gets better, okay? It gets better. Y'all hold your horses here. So now, see, we've been in the hour. See, this is why I said it might have to be a part 2. So basically, and this is Pam, you just admitted that you arrested somebody for some emails that you haven't been able to connect them to. So you didn't have no probable cause when you first arrested them. You didn't have probable cause. So you got wrongful arrest. You got 4th and 14th Amendment violation. You let the man spend 5 days. So you had a wrongful, unlawful imprisonment. You had, like, I couldn't even decide which constitutional violations I would want to throw at these people. And then Mr. Jackson told me there were other wrongs. I'm just giving y'all the surface. He said it got so bad when they, being the prosecutor's office, would send them certain documents. They hired forensic experts to scrutinize everything they sent to see if anything was authentic. And let me just say, according to some of these experts, they are saying that some of those documents that were sent over as, quote, discovery wasn't even authentic. So he's also alleging fabrication of evidence. So y'all know what eventually happened. Now, mind you, all of this started in 2018. All this fiasco started in 2018, and we didn't hear nothing else for real. After the big old headlines that gave him the donkey of the day, talking about he was a horrible friend, all that stuff, didn't give this man the benefit of the doubt. Nothing. Didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. And then they dismissed 2 of the charges. These the last 2 charges. Sorry, that's the wrong one. They ended up dismissing. I was getting too hyped. They ended up dismissing the first 2 extortion charges. Now, that's what the whole hoopla was about, right? That's what we knew. That's all we knew about this whole Kevin Hart thing, was the whole. That's what pissed me off. That's all we knew was this. So that was dismissed. It was quietly dismissed. Now, at the end of the Netflix thing, if you guys watch it, episode 3, watch that joint. At the end, Netflix did do little letters, little words at the end saying 2 of the extortion charges were dropped, but he still may face felony charges for the other 3. Well, because there was no evidence for that, that's what I just put on. Those were eventually dropped as well. But before that happened, Kevin Hart allegedly, and this is in the complaint. Let me pull it up in the complaint. Kevin Hart came with a proposal. Now, this is what because at first I was like, well, maybe Kevin didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was like, this is what they're telling me their investigation has brought. So maybe he just didn't know or whatever. Well, allegedly, JT is an actor, so he couldn't get work. He has to pay for lawyers now unnecessarily. Clearly, Kevin didn't give him the benefit of the doubt because he didn't call him to try to have a conversation. So he had to go get a regular smeglo job. And so his agent was calling him, basically telling him they canceled his job. He was losing jobs left and right. So when Kevin came to him and said, we could sign this contract, and in this contract, it had a bunch of stuff in it. But the main thing in this contract, and I'm not going to say everything that was in there, because baby, that might be a whole nother lawsuit. So I'm just going to let that stay where it's at right now. But as you see in paragraph 11 of the complaint that JT has filed, and by the way, he filed this the end of December, I think, of 2023. Plaintiff 2 years later encountered a proposer, Jesus. Excuse me. Plaintiff, which is JT, because this is his complaint, 2 years later encountered a proposal, later formalized into a signed contract on August 4th, 2021, from Kevin Hart's representatives. While my criminal defense attorney, Jacob Glucksman, and I were confident in the strength of our case, because mind you, he only had them last few charges because the extortion ones got dismissed, because this lady then got on the stand and basically said, yeah, I've never had nothing to link you to it in the first place. So it said, while my criminal defense attorney and I were confident in the strength of our case, this proposal and the subsequent contract presented an opportunity beyond the courtroom, the chance for my name to be publicly cleared by Kevin Hart. Our decision to engage with this proposal and enter to this contract was driven not by legal necessity, but by the unique opportunity it offered for public exoneration. Plaintiff's readiness to proceed to trial remained steadfast even after the contract was in place. The acceptance of the proposal and the formation of the contract represented a strategic decision, emphasizing the value of public vindication over a mere legal victory. So he was willing to be like, y'all drop this stuff. Kevin, I'm just going to need you to come out and tell the people your homeboy is not a snake. Your homeboy does not deserve donkey of the day. Your homeboy didn't have anything to do with this at all. Y'all think that's what Kevin did? So Kevin, when he did his video, and we're going to play that, he was supposed to basically say he didn't have nothing to do with it. Whatever. Listen, I wasn't into the contract, but y'all see this what they're saying right here of what was going to happen. So that was supposed to be all encompassing, a part of dismissing these charges and whatever else type of arrangements they made in the contract. I didn't see the contract. But it sounds like the contract was not abided by Kevin Hart. And I'm just going to say that allegedly, because I ain't see the contract. And the reason why I say that is because if that's what he was supposed to say, the video did not represent that. I'm just going to show you what the video represented. This is what Kevin Hart said after all the charges were dropped against his friend of 15 years, who the whole world threw up under the bus for the last almost 3 years.
What up, world? Happy Tuesday. Coming at you hot on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Look, it's no secret that my life has had its share of ups and downs. It definitely has. Not proud of the downs at all, but of course that's life. Things happen. It's our job to adjust when they do. One of those things that I had to adjust from was a situation that involved a friend, Jonathan JT Jackson, where he was charged in a case. And JT Jackson has recently been found not guilty, and those charges have been dropped against him. And I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. I couldn't do it because of the legal process. You know, they kind of put a fork in the road between he and I, and that relationship was lost. But I'm glad that now not only can I finally speak on it, but I can say I'm happy that that chapter in my life is over. I'm happy that we're able to put a period on that sentence, and I'm excited to get back to life as we once knew it. I want to get back to life as I once knew it and put that behind me and move on. This message is about moving on. It's over. It's over, and I'm happy that it's over. Live, love, and laugh. It's that simple. Out.
So this man was arrested, door kicked down, mental stress, PTSD. He done served, I think, in the Gulf War. Wife got to hold him down. Did 5 days, got to pay lawyers. And this is what he gets. I'm gonna need you to be just as loud as you were. Just as loud as you were when you were just couldn't believe it. When you was like, wow, on your Twitter, you're hurt and all of that. But I have a theory behind that. And this is just my theory. So take it how you want to. But again, I know y'all don't want to watch the Netflix thing, but when I watched that, one thing Kevin did not do was he kept saying that he didn't want to believe it. But when his wife was on there and she was like, Kevin was so hurt and he was crying, and this person was just at our table eating Thanksgiving food. He couldn't believe, I mean, he cried for days and whatever else she was saying, right? This is what Nico's saying. Now, you done just totally forgot this man then slept with this woman while you pregnant in Vegas. And all of a sudden, Kevin became the victim because this was his best friend. See, it wouldn't have rocked as good if it was the young lady he was with, right? It wouldn't have gave that flair where people was. So now it shifted it to your homeboy doing it. So now you got people like, coming out saying, dang, how your boy gonna snake you like that? You had his homeboys, Kevin's homeboys, on that documentary basically saying, he asked us to go at the last minute. And I'm like, man, I'm married. I can't go at the last minute. So really his people that were in his circle, they were saying that his real circle wasn't there because they wouldn't allow this to happen. I mean, the way they went so tough, it sounded so, Kevin can't even trust nobody no more. He was so hurt by that. It flipped the narrative off of the fact that you was a slime ball and you were out there with somebody else that was not your wife. And all of a sudden you become the victim because now your homeboy done did this. That's my theory. Because I kept saying, how does it take away from him by coming out and just saying it wasn't him? I'm glad because that was my homeboy. I really didn't believe it in my heart. I really didn't believe that this happened, that he would do this to me. He's a stand-up guy, blah, blah, blah. But now this guy has basically been blackballed. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin Hart, you need to apologize. You owe this man a real sincere sit down and apology because this was foul. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know how they got JT's name because it doesn't make sense to me. If nothing connects them except for the fact that he was there that weekend and maybe y'all did a process of elimination or something, I don't know but from what I've seen and information I have, you did not have any information on this man for you to do what was done. And hence why a 1983 civil rights case has been filed against both of the prosecutors that was on there and that investigator that was filed in December and the claims there too. So Traveling Tootie said that was not an apology. His pride would not let him do that, man. Right. Pride comes before destruction. That was not an apology at all. Because the thing was, you did a tweet and you was like, wow, I'm so hurt. Well, he's hurt that you believe that somebody who had your back for 15 years, that you would just automatically believe it. But I think it was better to believe that because now you can stay the victim and then it can, because it shifted off of it. The only reason why we started back talking about this whole tape was because of all the stuff that happened with Tasha K. And then we ended up going over the lawsuit, which, by the way, remember I told y'all that lawsuit was dismissed? It was dismissed. And now this lady that was on this tape with Kevin Hart, her lawyer did not show up and she did not show up, where they have filed a motion for reconsideration because they're trying to reopen that case on Kevin Hart. So clearly, and that just happened in December. And I just happened to run across that today when I was just being nosy. So, of course, Kevin's team is fighting not to have it reopened. But they're trying, because remember, it was dismissed without prejudice because they didn't show up. So now this person, they came up with their reasoning. We may have to do that later. Their reasoning was basically, her lawyer is saying he has some medical issues with like family issues or something. And that was the reason why they didn't show up. And so they're trying to reopen that case against Kevin Hart. So I'm just saying, y'all want to hear this alleged apology again? I don't. That's the alleged apology. That's it. I mean, that's
What up,
the
world?
alleged
Happy
apology.
Tuesday. Coming at you hot on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Look, it's no secret that my life has had its share of ups and downs. It definitely has. Not proud of the downs at all, but of course that's life. Things happen. It's our job to adjust when they do. One of those things that I had to adjust from was a situation that involved a friend, Jonathan JT Jackson, where he was charged in a case. And JT Jackson has recently been found not guilty, and those charges have been dropped against him. And I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. I couldn't do it because of the legal process. You know, they kind of put a fork in the road between he and I, and that relationship was lost. But I'm glad that now not only can I finally speak on it, but I can say I'm happy that that chapter in my life is over. I'm happy that we're able to put a period on that sentence, and I'm excited to get back to life as we once knew it. I want to get back to life as I once knew it and put that behind me and move on. This message is about moving on. It's over. It's over, and I'm happy that it's over.
So it was over for you, but it's not over for people whose lives, or the person whose life was ruined, turned upside down because of this, and still trying to recover. And this is why they are suing the investigator, the DAs that were on this case. And I'm going to tell you the various claims that they are. And a lot of this has to do with this alleged $5 million post that they couldn't even attribute to him, because they acknowledged that their only evidence of extortion was the $5 million post. So I'm going to go real quick. I'm just going to go. So those are all the facts. Basically, what I gave you, I laid it out. A lot of this stuff I just highlighted to make sure that I told you guys that what was in there. I thought that was the best way to present it, because if you read it line by line, baby, first of all, it's 43 pages, because he had a lot to say. And as you guys probably know, after watching this live, this is why he has so much to say. And then when I looked at the emails, I was like, I know journalists that sell pictures like that. It really just looked like a broker. There was never anything in those emails that said, if you don't buy it, I'm going to put it out. You know, if Kevin Hart doesn't give me money personally, I'm going to put it out. That's extortion. They was like, I got this video. Do you want it? It's going to the highest bidder. So even when I looked at the emails, I wasn't necessarily seeing the elements of extortion. And then when Kevin Hart first did the video, he basically was saying, he was basically saying, I'm not going to let anybody make any financial gain off of my mistakes. So he knew it wasn't nothing but a darn. He didn't say nothing about $5 million. He didn't say nothing about no extortion in that first video that I played. He knew himself. Okay, let me get down to the claims real quick. And then I'm looking at like the various the reports, and none of it even, it has nothing to do with JT. That's what was frustrating me when I was looking through everything. I'm like, so where did they even get your name? Like, what? The fact that you were there that weekend? Because that's all I could come up with. So his count one is violation of his civil rights, 1983. Goes through all of that. Count two is Fourth Amendment, malicious prosecution. Count three is the 14th Amendment violation, due process violation, deliberate or reckless fabrication of evidence. Count four is a Fourth Amendment violation, unreasonable search. His wife should have jumped on here for some loss too. Fourth Amendment, unreasonable seizure of person, no probable cause for arrest. Due process violation, the state claim, because you could do it in federal, and you can do federal and state claim, but the federal court has to take jurisdiction. Go ahead and say they'll take the state claims. created danger by affirmative act of withholding exculpatory evidence. So they withheld that comment until the second amended complaint. So all this time, this money going out, Kevin's friend talking about $10 million, these crazy numbers was based on a post. Unlawful invasion of privacy, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. I think that's the last one. I would have added unlawful imprisonment. I would have added a couple more up on that joint, but yeah. So then I was reading the investigative report because I kept trying to figure out. I'm like, so where did they get? I wasn't understanding where they were even getting. Let's see. His name from, like I told you guys. Let me see if I could find it, if I got it pulled up. Don't. Sure it's redacted. Okay. So this investigator did an investigative report. Oh, it's more. Because y'all gonna be like, what? I was gonna save this, but it's only been an hour. Let's see. I'm gonna take a quick look at this, the investigation report that they actually see. So this is the investigative report, and I just even got more confused. So this is what they are saying in their reports. So at the beginning, she says all of her credentials. So she says on September 16, 2017, at approximately 1844 hours, I received information regarding a possible extortion attempt made against the victim via email and text message. I was informed Hart was at his home in Los Angeles County when he received the threats. Hart's management team contacted Perkins of the Perkins Investigative Group, who works with, and they say, some entertainment litigators. Perkins provided me with a summary of the events which had taken place between August 25th to the present. On August 16th, the video was uploaded to the free web-based service called Dropbox. So now it's something uploaded to Dropbox. Based upon my training and experience, I'm aware of the fact that most subjects engaged in this type of extortion use a method to hide their identity and facilitate the crime. I'm like, what? The following information was obtained from a report received from Perkins. So this is all the emails. We read all of those. So she basically put all the emails, and these were the pictures that were attached to the emails. They were like still shots. Over the course of several days and numerous emails, Blatt and Sender negotiate. Now, mind you, she's talking in this investigative report. She's talking about the emails we went over. So she's saying over the course of several days and numerous emails, Blatt and Sender negotiated the price of the video for initially asking $5 million to agreeing on $65,000. Show me where in those emails where anybody ever asked for $5 million. I was like, what is this lady talking about? The conversation led to a meeting in order to facilitate an exchange, and it quickly deteriorated. Sender, in an email, canceled the meeting for unknown reasons. After a few days, Blatt sent an email and received an email failure message. It was determined the email address had been deleted. On or around September 2nd, 2017, Hart had reviewed the photos, and during the extortion negotiations and reached out to his attorney. Hart told Bretler he was familiar with the time frame and location of the incident. He stated further he knew the names of the females in the pictures provided. Hart verified the incident took place over the weekend of August 18th through the 20th. He names all these different people or whatever. On September 6, 2017, Bretler reached out to Savage, so that is the lady in the video, via her cell phone provided by Hart on 2 occasions in order to find out if she was involved in the creation of the video or the extortion. When Savage answered the phone, Bretler, now that's Hart's attorney, identified himself and stated he understood she possessed a video she had been, quote, shopping for a buyer featuring his client. He said he did not mention who his client was on purpose. Savage said she was not alone. She was with her mother on the East Coast and she would have to call him back. After a short discussion, Bretler said he would call her back in 2 hours. Bretler called Savage back and advised her he had seen clips of the video and she had been identified as the girl in the video. He also said he was aware of the fact someone was trying to sell the video to a couple of celebrity websites. Bretler still had not mentioned Hart's name. Savage claimed she had no knowledge of any video. Bretler asked her if she had visited Las Vegas recently, and Savage said no, not at all. So she denied she was even in freaking Vegas, allegedly. So Savage then stated she needed to get a lawyer. The conversation ended when she said she did not have a lawyer. On September 7th of 2017, Bretler received a call from a man identifying himself as Boncour, Esquire. Boncour said he was representing Savage and he was aware a conversation had taken place with her regarding Hart. Bretler clarified he had never mentioned his client's name in either conversation with Savage. So that's why he wasn't mentioning the name, to see if she knew who he was talking about. Boncour said he was recently retained by Savage, a family friend, and had not had any discussions with her regarding the situation at that point in time. Boncour asked Bretler to stop calling Savage directly from now on. Bretler explained to Boncour he would like to resolve the situation by obtaining the video and his team would be in a position to purchase it. Boncour said he would have to speak with his client. The next day, Boncour advised Savage had no knowledge of the video. Boncour asked Bretler if he wanted her to sign documents stating she did not have the video, and Bretler said he would accept a signed document if she was willing to provide one. Boncour again said he would have to consult with Savage. This was the part that threw me. On a follow-up call from Boncour, he inquired as to how much Hart's people were willing to pay for the video, like the Hart video. How much Hart's people were willing to pay for a video like the Hart video? Bretler said he would give somewhere around $35,000, a number lower than what was originally negotiated. Boncour asked, what about $40,000? Can I tell her that? But I thought she said she don't know nothing about this video. I just was not understanding this conversation right here. Bretler brought up a polygraph in order to confirm her lack of involvement. Boncour said he would contact his client and for a price, she might. Bretler received another phone call from Boncour who advised that Savage would take a polygraph for $120,000. And if she passes it, she wants $300,000. At this point, the discussion ended. On September 16, 2017, at approximately 10:50 a.m., Hart's wife, Aniko, received a private message on her Instagram account from an unidentified profile. The link revealed an edited video of Hart in several different situations. At one point, Hart was with Savage on a couch inside the hotel living room at the Cosmopolitan Hotel and Casino, and again in a bed with her. The two appear to be sleeping, and it is apparent someone else in the room is creating the video with the use of some type of video recording device. Also in the video toward the end was Rowan. This was followed up later in the day with a text message from the cell number, Parrish's personal cell, along with the Dropbox link. The text said, quote, unfortunately, your husband, Kevin Hart, is cheating on you. Evidence and link below. Quite easy to find your contact information through online services. You deserve to know about your husband, end quote. At approximately 4:41, Hart also received private Instagram LLC message on his personal account. The message was from the Instagram Mr. Jude. So y'all seen the comment. That was actually the comment. But in this letter, this lady is saying, this investigator is saying that it was a private message when clearly it was in his comments under a video. But they're trying to make it as if it was a private situation so it can look like, The video had not yet gone public. Immediately following the message from Mr. Jude, a response was added, and it said, based upon, she puts on here, based upon my training and experience, I am familiar with how text messages work within Instagram private messages feature. I know the only way someone could respond to a private message would be if they were included and added as a participant in the original private text of Mr. Jude. It appeared as though the two profiles had knowledge of the video prior to the release of the video and continued the extortion. Hart went public regarding his indiscretions on his Instagram account after he and his wife received the messages. At 2:58, Black received the message, "Here you go," with the same Dropbox link to the attached video. Mr. Jude responded, "I just wanted the money." What is it's gone public like this? I believe whoever sent those messages were working together and had knowledge of the extortion plot. As the above listed events were taking place, Hart's management team conducted a Google search looking for anyone posting the video. The web search revealed the following. So FameListDaily.com. It was Fameless on Instagram. Fameless on Instagram. Now, Fameless was also sued in that lawsuit that Savage filed against Kevin Hart, JT, and then it was Fameless and the person who is the owner. So we're going to get into the owner. All of the above listed online accounts belong to German, a blogger who is simultaneously posting the video with the Fameless watermark embedded in the video, along with several comments about Hart and what he had done. I was advised by Hart's team they had contacted all of these sites on September 17, 2017, and submitted cease and desist requests, which were carried out by all web-based companies. On September 20th, 2017, the quote, real owner of Fameless used the email address to contact Brettler. The email said she had been trying to access her social media accounts over the course of 4 days while on bed rest, and she lived in Los Angeles. She claimed her accounts were attacked by DDoS 2 weeks prior. She also claimed all of her websites were hacked and deleted. I know an attack using the DDoS method would typically be accomplished by sending tons of URL requests to a website or a web page in a very small amount of time, causing the computer to stop or crash. She claimed she was locked out of all her accounts. Brettler had frozen her accounts through the cease and desist request for her criminal postings. German claimed someone else had uploaded all the information regarding Hart without her knowledge, but later in an email advised she had some knowledge of the events and knew who had carried out the release of the video. German was identified through a publicly accessed database and eventually identified herself in an email sent on September 23rd, 2017, using the email account, and stated she lived in Tucson, Arizona. Per a web-based search of trademark, Fameless was owned by German. After reviewing all the correspondence with Hart's team, I believe German had full control of her accounts prior to the release of the video, and when she heard the crime was being investigated, she fabricated the hacking story. To date, September 24, 2017, she had not filed a police report per her email conversation with Hart's team. I also believe, based upon the negotiation email, the email sent to Hart's team regarding her hacked accounts and her social media posts are the Fameless websites. It appeared the author of all the messages was quite possibly one of the same, German. On September 18, 2017, I interviewed Hart via cell phone and obtained the following information. So he gets more information on what happened. So basically now, and when you look at the investigative report, and I asked JT, I'm like, well, did you get this report? Because it sounded like they pointing the finger at somebody different. They didn't give him that till later on. Then, this is the last one, I promise y'all. there was actually a post that they found out was the young lady that's suing everybody for this that was in the video. Here's a screenshot. So I guess when that fat, famous person got sued, they was like, hell no, you're not about to be blaming me. So here's a screenshot of an alleged conversation between the famous T and Montia, which I guess this was her Instagram before. And there's a conversation in this about this video. And it says, if they offer anything under 6 figures, I'll put the clip on my site. They'll pay. You can't tell it's not Kev. Looks just like him. I was fooled. Let's get paid. So this right here is supposed to be from Montia and a conversation between Montia and Famulous T, allegedly. So this was a screenshot, and it says, on September 23rd, 2017, I was again contacted by Bretler, who said Jermon claimed she knew who had hacked her account to facilitate the release of the Heart video. She provided another Instagram profile and claimed the person posting created the account and pretended to be her. I viewed the account and observed a screenshot of an Instagram private text from August 22nd, 2017 between Montia Louise Savage's first Instagram account before the press conference and Famulous. I preserved a screenshot of the post as attached below. I said, what? Fine 9 said, what type of lackluster police investigation were they doing? Police DA need to be investigated. The kind that need a 1983 lawsuit filed against them, which is what's happening in this case. You said all Kevin had to do was take this lick, bro. That's all I'm saying. All you got, Kevin, just sit down and talk. Well, he may not want to talk to you, so I can't even say that. But you do owe that man an apology. Because even if I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that this was something the investigators said, because the thing is, he is a celebrity. When you have celebrities, they, for the most part, a lot of times this is the come up for some DAs. So they become very aggressive. So you have him come to you and say that he's being extorted. And so I think they went in trying to go hard to find out who the person was, and they weren't able to find out who this alleged extorter, if that's what you want to call all the information we have, was. And so after a while, you went from probably trying to cover him and be the savior of Kevin Hart to almost saving yourself, because now you have put out there, you have arrested this man, and you really don't even have probable cause to be arresting him. You don't even have real direct links to him. Like, you're scrambling, trying to make things stick. And then he had to go through this for 3 years, and now he's filing a lawsuit. So regardless, he was in Hollywood as well. So you have, because this sticks over his head, people don't know all of this. Me looking at this stuff, yes, I heard they were dropped. Everybody was like, I seen it on his profile, they were dropped. But just as loud as people were on there talking about this man, calling him rats and calling him everything else, that should have been as loud as you were when this case was dismissed. And that's just how I feel. But for you to get on there and all you have to say is this, that just is unacceptable.
Live, love, and laugh. It's that simple. No.
I can't. Like, that's what you got?
What up, world? Happy Tuesday. Coming at you hot on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Look, it's no secret that my life has had its share of ups and downs. It definitely has. Not proud of the downs at all. But, of course, that's life. Things happen. It's our job to adjust when they do. One of those things that I had to adjust from was a situation that involved a friend, Jonathan J.T. Jackson, where he was charged in a case And JT Jackson has recently been found not guilty, and those charges have been dropped against him. And I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. I couldn't do it because of the legal process. You know, they kind of put a fork in the road between he and I, and that relationship was lost. But I'm glad that now not only can I finally speak on it, but I can say I'm happy that that chapter in my life is over. I'm happy that we're able to put a period on that sentence, and I'm excited to get back to life as we once knew it. I want to get back to life as I once knew it and put that behind me and move on. This message is about moving on. It's over. It's over, and I'm happy that it's over. Live, love, and laugh. It's that simple. Out.
So that's all he got. Out of all of this stuff, this is all he got. So that's that, guys. This is the story of JT. We'll be following this case. Listen, the DA, y'all need to just go ahead and come sit at the table and say, what do you need? How much do you want? We are so sorry this happened to you. And Kevin, you need to do the same thing. Just come on now. I ain't saying that you were the whole orchestrator. But what I am saying is, in my opinion, based on how it took the spotlight off of the actual act, in my opinion, it feels like you were okay with him taking this little stray, because it looks bad that your best friend that you come and you hang out with, that it's your man's and your brother, and that they would do something like that. And so that made you look like somehow you were victimized. But that's just my opinion. But you owe this man a real apology. But that's it. That's all I got. Aaliyah said $900 million. Oh, you said you wouldn't take that pacifier out your mouth. My God. All right, y'all. Y'all hit these likes. It's been a good time as always. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to head over to the other channel. You guys put the other channel in the chat for me. I'm going to go over this video for Nesto on the other channel. So I got to get them I got to put some time on over there. So I'm going to head over there in a few minutes. So if you guys would join me on the new channel, we'll go over, now that we have went through a real case and we have actually used our brain cells. Now we can go on over there and we can lose a couple of them by talking about this Ernest Williams case. But so yeah, you said he came in hot. He came in hot with that unapologetic apology. So yeah, y'all gotta know. I think it's really jacked up what he's been through when I read the stuff. But I have a follow-up on, like I said, I'll probably end up coming back to talk about this lady that has tried to do a reconsideration. They have a hearing next month. We still got the stuff with Tasha K and Maisha Shakes. We still got that going on. So Kevin, we about to be talking about you for a while. We're about to be talking about you. I don't even like talking about you like that, but since you want to be in the litigation, you know, you want to be litigious these days. We about to talk about you too. So I'm out of here, y'all. Make sure you hit the like on the way out. I'm be over there on the other channel. I'll try to put the link over there. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. And I'm going to holler at you guys in a few minutes if you come over there and join me.